When it comes to the animal kingdom, we know there are a few species that just don't get along. After all, the phrase "they fight like cats and dogs" exists for a reason. It's only natural that some animals won't be compatible, especially if they're in close quarters. Normally, these odd animal pairs will stay out of each other's way, but every so often, some unusual bonds can form that take everyone by surprise. It just goes to show that oftentimes animals are more open-minded than we humans are. A photographer recently captured this amazing scene near Lake Van in Turkey, and you need to see it to believe it. The photographer who snapped this incredible image, taken on the rocky beach of Lake Van in Turkey, truly could not believe what he was seeing. It was a sight that would make anyone's heart drop. Soon, it was clear that there was more going on. These animals were not fighting at all. But what were they actually up to? As it turns out, the photographer that happened upon this scene discovered that they were actually sharing a piece of fish peacefully. Imagine sharing your dinner with someone that's supposed to be your enemy. Amazing. And that's not all. After their meal, they started running around and playing together. Clearly this duo was the best of friends. They weren't fighting at all. They were just roughhousing like siblings, wrestling without ever actually hurting each other. Then, they relaxed for a bit, just taking a moment to hang out in silence in the sunshine together like the good buddies they were. Even when they looked like they were in the middle of a tussle, they're really just being silly. They look like they're out of a scene of a Disney movie. These two very different wild animals prove a fundamental lesson that everyone could learn from, really. It doesn't matter where you come from, because love knows no bounds. These two never got the memo that they weren't supposed to like each other, they just decided to care for each other. It's hard to look away when these two are together. What an incredible sight. They seem to use their complementary hunting skills to find toys and trinkets in the rocks, working as a team that's more effective than they would be on their own. More than just finding treasure, what they're really getting into is trouble. Well, harmless animal trouble, that is. Of course, they weren't the only ones on the beach that day. Not to worry, though. It looked like all they wanted was some playmates. Can you imagine that sight? You just have to watch what these two cuties do when they're alone and up